video game within the context of a film or TV series or even inside another video game and go, I can't wait to find that game and play it, only to have the crushing realization that the game is fictional and only exists in that universe. Yeah, it's kind of the worst feeling as a gamer. You get so excited about this new experience just to have it ripped away from you at the last second. Godspeed to that one boy that came into R-CADE years ago and told me his favourite game of all time was Fix-It Felix Jr. I respect you, good sir, and I hope that you grow into a wise, wise man. In the meantime, I'm here to crush your dreams more and present you with 5 awesome games that don't actually exist. Number 5, Insult Master. Featured in the premiere episode of Season 3 of the television series Aqua Teen Hunger Force, that was a lot of ovs, this game is based solely around who can do the best insults. This game is stupid, dumb, and I kinda hate it, but the concept alone means that it belongs on this list. The goal of the game is to insult your opponent's character the best way possible, with the term best being very subjective in this situation. The whole bit amounts to just throwing back and forth yo mama jokes. The problem is, it just devolves into repeatedly going yo mama, yo mama, yo mama, yo mama, yo mama. None of this is created by the characters audibly, it is solely button pressing combinations in game. It's actually very disappointing. I was looking for some creative flair and was really excited and hoped that it could maybe exist someday. Unfortunately, it only exists for people dumb enough to want to just say yo mama, yo mama, yo mama, yo mama in front of the TV. Someone dumb like yo mama. Boomed. Number 4, Hockey Dad. You know, ice hockey is like the only professional sport where you're allowed to get into fistfights. Obviously, other than boxing and MMA, but you don't see like dropping gloves in a game of football, right? Well, Hockey Dad takes that to another level. Instead of it being the players on the ice getting into the conflict, it's the parents of 2 youth players. A throwaway clip from the Simpsons episode The Regina Monologue, Bart and Milhouse take control of Mr. Shadowski and Mr. O'Bannon. There's no word on if there was any other playable characters in the game, but presumably there's a create character. You can make your own dad, you could be the dad and protect your kids. I say protect. Fight for dominance against other parents. To be fair, the Super Nintendo Skinner doesn't really have a huge amount of memory on it, so maybe they were limited. Each parent is controlled by a real-world player and throws kicks, punches, cups of coffee, and steel chairs to take out their opponent. Disturbingly, if you do enough damage to defeat your enemy, it ends with an animation of you stomping their head in while your child begs you to stop. This should have been number 5. On a more upbeat note, the indie rock band Hockey Dad was, unsurprisingly, named after this exact thing. So, brighten your day and go and listen to Jump the Gun by Hockey Dad. Or actually, keep watching this and then go and listen to it. Or actually, keep watching this, watch through the playlist we've got for our Versus series, again, 1 life left, and then go and watch Jump the Gun by Hockey Dad. Deal? Deal. Binding. Number 3, The Alien Child. Spike Jonze's 2013 adventure through sexuality through the lens of one man and his artificial intelligence didn't just revolutionise the way that I personally look at relationships, particularly for people who aren't understood by society as being normal, but it also revolutionised the dream we can have when it comes to immersive gaming. Bit of a leap. The Alien Child was featured in a small clip which saw the main character, Theodore Thwombly, bonding alongside his AI counterpart in a moment of clandestine backseat gaming. The game goes unnamed in the film, but the core moment that most fans remember is the appearance of this alien child, hence the name, The Alien Child. Vaguely similar to a projected 3D version of No Man's Sky, possibly more a walking simulator like Limbo. It's kind of hard to tell based on the size of the clip. We see Joaquin Phoenix's character, Theodore Thwombly, interact with this small alien child on a planet that he apparently has landed on. The player character, the NPCs, and the surrounding environment was all projected via a green light into the centre of the room, via a variety of different projection stanchions stationed around the room. Think of it like how you might have to set up VR in your own home if you manage to get it, or if you've heard someone talk about and complain about setting up the sensors. You have to go in different sections, you need to make sure it's all aligned. Same idea, but with projectors, so you get this full 3D image right in front of you, and so they can sense your movements. That's a key element of the alien child. This Joaquin Phoenix character would control walking by tapping his fingers like this, or moving around the screen doing that. You You can also switch from third person to first person by swiping his entire hand from right to left, which meant he could interact far clearer with the alien child in front of him. While no overall in-game goal was explained throughout the film, the small clip we see shows Joaquin Phoenix asking for help in getting back to his home planet. Unfortunately, the only person he has to help him is this small alien child, with a very foul mouth. The SRB rating, unconfirmed. Number 2, Disc Wars. Tron is a weird product to talk about in a sense, because everything in it is digitised. It's hard to know what is a function of the computer and what is a game. Sometimes both are one and the same. Within the digital world, some things are documents, some things are profiles, some things are products, and in Disc Wars, some people are games. Within the movie franchise, Disc Wars is a gladiatorial battle to the death between the programs. Using their identification discs, you throw them back and forth, trying to take out your opponent. If you manage to hit them and make contact, they are digitized, i.e. deleted from the server. It's a fight for survival one-on-one inside a small clear box, which allows for the audience outside to view it and watch. The walls are reflective, therefore when you throw the disc it bounces off of them, but the floor can be disintegrated once it gets hit, which means that if you fall through, you also get digitized. In essence, being struck by a disc or falling to the floor, either way is a way to lose the game and lose your virtual life. We go one-on-one until only one person is left standing, and then they take on the ultimate challenge. Within the game, the gravity in the arena can also reverse as a result of the discs that are hidden underneath the floor, changing the direction in which they move, which results in gravity going from down to up and up to down. But it's gravity, so whichever way is down, whichever way is up, you don't go. In Tron Legacy, Sam Flynn makes it all the way to the end of the contest, only to go one-on-one with someone in a cooler suit and with dual-wielded discs. God, I hate going up against tryhards when I got the game 3 years late. Number 1, Game Over. Yes, I know how it looks, it is incredibly biased on my part to put Game Over at number 1 because Spy Kids 3D is a great movie. Okay, that one's a lie. But Game Over, the game within Spy Kids 3D, is one of the most comprehensive and widespread games we've seen in a medium where the game doesn't actually exist. Ahead of its time due to the fact of, well, it's fictional, so you're not beholden to what you can actually do with video game technology. Game Over is a VR simulator in which the entire human body is sucked into the game just via one eye headset. After being sucked into the game, not literally, but so engrossed in the content in the VR world that it feels like you're really there, players have to go from level 1, which is Toontown, all the way to places like the moon, and to a cybernetically advanced future civilization, as well as like a lava world. Well, the game didn't have such a scope on the human brain that it could make you feel things that you weren't actually feeling, like being burnt alive in lava. It did have the ability to recreate real life scenarios in such an engaging and interesting way that the players felt like it was really happening, if for a moment. For instance, letting an old man be able to walk again. And Game Over featured AI so advanced it was able to develop actual human emotional connection with some of the players involved. Junie Cortez falls in love with this girl, for God's sake. Yes, I realise a lot of gamers fall in love with 2D sprites that have a script, but she cried human tears! Human cyber tears! Come on! While the game only featured 5 levels, we've already talked about the fact that they were entirely unique. Yes, we've talked about the aesthetic and visual representations being different, but the minigames from each level were so unique and of their own right as well. There was cyber bike racing in the future world, there was dueling with giant electromagnetic sticks, and there was one-on-one robot fights. If you want to hear more about one-on-one robot boxing, check the link up here to one of our other top 5 videos. Each player had 9 lives which were easily lost, whether it was being attacked by a selection of pogo-obsessed toads, or actually landing on level 2, which was the moon. Kind of a flaw, but also something a bit unique in video games, to have the very first thing that happens to you on a level be losing a life. Bit of a learning curve for new players. There's one small caveat with this game. It's hard to know what elements of it are the original game and which elements are added in by the OSS, the International Intelligence Agency, which the Spy Kids series is based around. As part of Junie Cortez's mission, they've added special power-ups into the game and other enemies like the lava monsters that are meant to turn him and his friends back on level 4. This is one flaw because it's not actually an element of Game Over unless you are connected to an international security agency, but on the other hand, it's just the same as doing mods, and most video games these days have mods. So I say play Game Over, play Game On, and add the Macho Man Randy Savage Deathclaw mod into the game, and it can eat all of the pogo toads at once. Yikes. Ooh, yeah. Those have been our top 5 video games that don't actually exist. Are there any that we might have missed? The Simpsons has a bunch, I'm not even kidding. Hockey Dad was just my favourite. And I really liked Spy Kids 3D. Sue me. Please make sure you give a like, leave a comment if you've got anything you want to add, and follow the R-CADE Glasgow YouTube channel so you can help us grow a little teensy bit day by day. If you want to interact with us more, we have an R-CADE Glasgow Discord, or you can catch us on social media, Twitter, Facebook and Instagram at R-CADE Glasgow. We also have a TikTok where we post clips from our Twitch channel. That's right, we've got a Twitch channel. We've got 2! Go to twitch.tv/R-CADE Glasgow to catch Andrew, the owner and operator of R-CADE, as he gets up to wild and crazy things. And if you want to see the rest of the R-CADE stuff, go to twitch.tv/R-CADE2, that's TWO, and you can catch all of our other exploits, including me talking about wrestling. That's like fictional video games. I should have stopped before I said wrestling, shouldn't I? I'm keeping it in. Have a great day, everyone, and enjoy the real games!